Welcome to Schein Chats. We're here today discussing the important role of the office manager and the important role of the Association of Dental Office Management. I'm Michelle Penrose with Henry Schein, and I'm joined here today with the founder and president of AADOM, Heather Colicchio. Heather, welcome.
Hey, Michelle.
It is so great to have you with us here today. I mean, literally, we've been wanting to get your time for a Schein Chat for the last couple of years, just because there's so many exciting things that are going on at AADOM, and I'm just excited that our viewers are going to have an opportunity to learn more for you about the association and all the value that you bring. We've had the good fortune over the last decade to work closely with the association, so I know firsthand all the great things that you've done and the growth that the association has had over the last 10 years. So it's really exciting. We're glad you're here with us today. And so we'll jump right into it.
Jump right in.
So let's get started with what motivated you to start this association?
So I started the American Association of Dental Office Management about 16 years ago. No background in dentistry whatsoever. I was an entrepreneur. I owned a gourmet coffee business, actually, and very long story short, I had a good friend who I went to college with who was a dentist, and she was leaving a group practice to go solo, as many dentists do. Many of them are entrepreneurs at heart and want to own their own practices. And she called me one day freaking out, saying, in dental school they teach us how to fix cavities. I don't know billing or coding or HR or software or anything I need to know to run a successful practice. And I found that so fascinating. And my husband is a neurologist, and he had started what is now a 6-7 man group, and they're all excellent clinicians, but I know what really set them apart was they had an amazing office manager who really handled the business of the practice so that they could practice what they were trained to do, neurology. And I said to my friend, there's got to be an organization, association that can find that person for you who knows all this stuff so you can focus on dentistry. And there was not. So in helping her, I realized there was a need in dentistry, and so I sought to fill that need, and like I said, it was about 16 years ago. So
it's such a fascinating story that you weren't even in dentistry. You recognized that there was a need just through your friend and what your husband was involved with in his practice, and it's evolved to one of the, a growing association, which is hard these days because there was such a need for it.
Right.
And so, what do you see as it's such an integral part of the dental practice, the office manager. So what do you see as the key role, and how has the role of the office manager changed over the last 16 years or last few years?
And I've been in this long enough now to have seen an evolution. When I started, the office manager really was a receptionist. I mean, and I say she because that long ago it was mostly female, which it is, there's a lot more men in business management now, but basically it was a glorified receptionist. They really did not have the authority to run the practice. And what I've seen change over the past, decade and a half is that practice managers now truly are business people, and they come in with a business mindset, and they view the practice as a small business, which is what it is, and apply those skills. And I've also seen an evolution in the dentist in that they're much more accepting of the fact that they don't have to do everything and they shouldn't do everything. And they're very good now about understanding that and giving authority to the proper person.
Well, it really helps create more of harmony and balance in the practice. I mean, if everybody kind of stays in their lane and understands their roles and responsibility, and if the dentist empowers the office manager to assume some of that responsibility of running the business, then there's more time for patient care and somebody handling that.
Correct.
And I've certainly seen that in my time with AADOM, and when we call on practices, when there's a strong practice administrator, office manager, it really helps the business, the small business or large business, run more efficiently. And that's key in these days.
Yes, absolutely. More efficiently, more productively, more profitably. It allows the dentist to have more time, like you said, for patient care and to be chairside and to do what they're trained to do.
Right.
So it's a win-win.
Yes. Yeah, great. So AADOM's mission is to educate, connect, and empower office managers and practice leaders in North America. So how does AADOM how does AADOM achieve this lofty mission and provide value to its members?
Well, we do it in a variety of ways. Most importantly, I think to note is that there is no school for, dental office management. It's not, you don't get a college degree in dental office management. So many of them learn on the job and by the seat of their pants, which really is not a good, effective way to do anything. So our mission is really education. So we come in and we say, okay, you're running a dental practice, we're here to educate you, we're here to teach you how to do this correctly, how to build correctly and code correctly and run your software correctly. And we do that in a variety of ways. We do that through bi-monthly webcasts, so we're constantly bringing virtual education to our members. We do live events, like right now we're at the Greater New York Dental Meeting. We're running a couple of sessions today on productivity in the dental practice, specifically for the practice administrator. So we're very active around the country. We have 70 local chapters. So we started as a virtual organization.
Right.
We were born digitally and kind of went backwards into the grassroots situation where now we have chapters when our members are connecting, bringing in speakers and teaching locally. So it's we also have an annual conference, which Henry Schein has been so wonderful and so supportive of. And that's a 3-4 day event that we do once a year that brings in dental practice leaders from across the country, where we really teach the education of practice management. But I think what really makes AADOM special is our tribe. It's our members. I mean, I could sit here and take credit all day long, and I have an amazing team, and I give them a lot of credit, but it's really a member-to-member energy that makes it great. I think because practice administrators are so isolated in their practice, there's no one else in the practice doing what they're doing, they're so grateful to make a connection with others who do what they do and support one another that it's really helped us
have that
thrive.
networking and learn from each other.
Absolutely.
And what a great niche that you fulfilled, because like you said, there's no formal schooling. You go to school for 2 years to get an office manager degree. So really AADOM is providing that ongoing education, and I know you have a lot of your own, you just explained some of them, but maybe you could touch on a little bit like FADOM, how you have your curriculum, because I've been a part of many of the graduation ceremonies, which have been fantastic. So please share some of
one of the highlights of AADOM, one of my favorite programs. So in our first few years, we would hear from different dental office managers and practice administrators who would call us and say, I just went to Greater New York, I just went to Yankee, and I took a course and I have these CE, what do I do with them? And we had to say, I don't know what you do with them. Like, great that you went, but I really don't know. Unlike an assistant or a hygienist or a dentist where they have a formal credentialing system, there was not one for the office manager who really, has such a critical role in the practice. So it was a 5-year development. We worked with other dental associations, organizations, leaders in the industry, and created the AADOM Fellowship Program, where now, by accruing CE and exemplifying leadership and working within your practice, you can actually earn a designation, the designation of Fellow of the American Association of Dental Office Management, and put those CE to something that lets the dental industry recognize how committed you are to what you do. The achievement. And so we've inducted fellows over the years, and then our fellows said, okay, now what? What's next? And I said, only at AADOM, our members are just so amazing. They said, okay, we got to the top, what's next? I'm like, you're at the top. So we've actually been developing, we have a mastership and a diplomat program. So we're just going to keep upping the bar. Raising the bar. That's what they want and that's what they deserve. So
that's what a good association should do. Listen to your members, because you want to continue to add value to their profession and to their lives. And so, Henry Schein just recently launched through the Dental Business Institute their new office manager operations course. In collaboration with AADOM. So tell us what excited you about this new curriculum and being involved in working with Henry Schein and offering this to your members.
I'm super excited about our collaboration with the Henry Schein Dental Business Institute. So much of what we did was virtual, as far as webcasts and our member forum, and that's fantastic, but nothing really replaces live learning, face-to-face, again, which is why we're here, why we have our chapters. So anytime we can be involved in a live learning course for our members, even our non-members who want to just get better at what they do, we're excited to participate. So we've worked with Henry Schein to create the Office Manager Operations course, which kicks off in 2020. And each course will be a 2-day live event, which we're super excited about, and they'll be limited in size, I think, which is what really excited me. 28 participants per course over the 2 days, so there is that opportunity to really dive deep and to network and to share best practices. And I also liked the variety of topics, so there are things like leadership and culture, which are very important, but then kind of the deeper dive into the business, which excites me, of the practice, where they'll be learning profitability and dental insurance and collections and production and all the things, again, that they formerly have not been taught. So just such an important resource.
And you know that it's a curriculum. It's not like one class, one and done. You know, it's over a period of time. The class size is important because I know it's structured where they learn from each other and they take a deep dive into all the different topics that they're going to cover. So we're very excited about having AADOM, involved with us in this new initiative. So we really appreciate that. And look forward to.
So I encourage every dental office manager out there to check it out. The links are there. It's going to be just fantastic. So 2-day live learning, you can't beat that. Yeah.
So Heather, in closing, there's a couple things. Let's leave our viewers with. From your vantage point, do you see any new, trends? I mean, dentistry is changing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always.
It's just changing. The integration, the way practices are running. So, do you see any trends and changes that for office managers that that are on the horizon that you'd like to share with our viewers?
Yeah, Michelle. What I see really probably in the last couple of years and continuing is the office manager, practice administrators' involvement in dental technology. I mean, there's just been so many changes across the board in technology, in dentistry. It's amazing. If you're not in dentistry, you wouldn't think of it, but it just seeing here at the show, it's amazing. And I think not too long ago, office managers were maybe a little bit afraid of technology, and that's not the case anymore. They really want to learn. They want to dig in. They want to say, how can this technology help my practice? And how can I understand it better so that I can execute it better, whether it be their practice management software. I mean, Dentrix, we run courses on Dentrix at our conference, and the questions that the members ask, they really don't want to gloss over. They really want to understand the technology and understand how it can help their practice. And I see that really as a trend that will continue.
And you raise a good point because when you integrate technology into practice, it affects everybody in the practice. The dentist, the office manager, hygienist, scheduling. So everybody on the team really needs to understand how this is going to change the dynamics in the practice and what your role is involved with technology. You might not be using the technology, but billing will change, scheduling will change. So to have the whole team, and of course the office manager, really involved in that integration and understanding that is so important.
Absolutely. Anytime you bring in technology, there's sometimes a change in communicating the technology to the patient, which the office manager is probably one of the right people to help with that. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Heather, this has been so interesting.
This has been great.
I mean, I've learned some stuff, so I know our viewers are really going to enjoy this. We thank you so much for your time during the Greater New York meeting, and we really appreciate all your insights on the role of the office manager, AADOM, and we really appreciate continued collaboration.
Thank you. And I just want to take a moment and thank Henry Schein for understanding the value of the practice leader, of the business manager, and for helping AADOM bring resources to them. So that we couldn't do it, without that kind of support, so we really appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate the collaboration, the partnership with AADOM. So I'm going to thank our viewers for joining us. I know you're going to enjoy this Schein Chat with Heather Colicchio, learn a lot about AADOM. So thanks again, thanks for viewing, and we'll see you next time on Schein Chats.